Demonstrators in Israel are staging protests calling for an end to the war in Gaza and a deal to release the hostages still held by Hamas. Some roads in Tel Aviv have been blocked. The protesters say Israeli government plans to seize control of Gaza City put the hostages in danger. But the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said the protesters were strengthening Hamas. Our correspondent Emir Nader sent this report from Jerusalem.
Blocking roads, burning tyres, shutting down workplaces. Thousands of protesters led by hostage families are escalating their campaign in response to the Israeli government's announcement it intends to escalate the war. The protesters accuse the government of endangering not only hostages but Palestinians too.
This is a war that we could stop and we should stop. And also we are doing a lot of harm to the Palestinian population, which is not Hamas in Gaza.
Prime Minister Netanyahu today rejected the demands of those protesting, saying that those who call for an end of the war without Hamas's defeat are only hardening Hamas's position and delaying the release of the hostages. In the week since Israel announced it will invade Gaza City, it has begun targeting outer neighbourhoods with heavy, relentless bombardment.
There is no house, only rubble. Nothing is left. They hit us with 2 shells while we were searching for our belongings. Now we are displaced. Where do we go?
Thousands of Palestinians are already fleeing Zeitoun, the city's largest district, amid the attacks. The Israeli military said it was eliminating terrorists and targeting their infrastructure. Meanwhile, finding food to stay alive remains a terrible struggle for families each day.
I come at 6 a.m. to the charity kitchen to get food for my children, and if I don't get any now, I will keep waiting until the afternoon or evening until I get food for my children. My children are surviving on the small amounts of lentils or rice.
Fear is rising among Gaza City's 1 million Palestinians as Israeli attacks tighten on the city. In Israel, their fear is playing out on the streets, while Israel's leaders have said they have no intention to change course. Emir Nader, BBC News, Jerusalem.
Ahmed Yousaf is an American medical doctor who's just left Gaza after volunteering with the NGO Heroic Hearts at Al-Shifa and Al-Aqsa hospitals. I asked Dr. Yousaf what he witnessed during his latest visit to Gaza.
I was there for about 2.5 weeks between Aqsa Hospital in the middle area and Shifa in the north. What I saw was pure devastation. You know, this is the second time I visited Gaza. I visited about a year ago. I'm exasperated by continuing to have to speak on behalf of the Gazan people because nobody listens to them. They currently are under 22 months of absolute devastating military bombardment, displacement, and now starvation. And I don't know how many physicians and aid workers have to scream on their behalf before the world begins to listen. You know, I was listening to the prior piece that you just did, and for anybody to be talking about anything except for starving children in Gaza is a travesty. It's nobody's children deserve to starve, and there's 2 million people sitting in a death trap called Gaza. And every day that I was there, I saw children down on the floor in that ER. I saw mothers and fathers worry about the sounds of their children's stomachs as they search for where food was going to come from, and just the desperation and hopelessness was immense to experience as a healthcare worker.
How did the conditions then this time, which you've just described, compared with a year ago? How has things shifted?
What I would say is that when you take people and destroy their homes, treat them like animals, displace them over and over again, and then speak about the displacement as if it's no big deal, it's just a strategy, a political strategy or a negotiation tactic. It is. I met those people. I met human beings who deserve every bit of dignity and humanity, and the entire world, media included, international governments, my own government, has treated them with a level of inhumanity that I never would have imagined was possible. And I think what breaks my heart, is that I have to do this, that I and every other healthcare worker, because we're the only ones allowed in, and you aren't allowed in, right? The BBC and other news media agencies are allowed in, is that we're trying to verify that what's happening is an ethnic cleansing and genocide, and all we would hope is somebody would go verify what we're saying, because we're not politicians and we're not media people. We're just doctors and aid workers, and so the situation is worse than you can imagine. Every video and every story I tell you will not do justice to how severe the humanitarian aid crisis is there and how brutal the military strategy of starvation and destabilization of healthcare infrastructure and stability of residential homes. I could never do it justice with the words in a short interview with you here.